All right, welcome back to Marxisms. Please like and subscribe. I have on today Bajun Mavalwalla, who is the candidate for United States Congress in the 5th District of Washington. That's the Spokane area. His son was arrested by the FBI for peacefully protesting and is being charged with conspiracy. Um, anyway, so without further ado, here's Bajun. How you doing, Bajun?
I'm doing great. How you doing today, Mark?
I'm doing pretty well. Glad to have you on. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You betcha. I read this article the other day in The Guardian about your son. It talks a little bit about you in there as well. But getting a little bit of press there. So your son is a military veteran, a veteran of Afghanistan, and he's been charged with conspiracy for going to a protest. That's a little disturbing, I think. Um, so basically what that's telling us is if he's convicted, then anybody who is arrested or that goes to a protest could be charged with conspiracy, right?
Well, that's their plan.
Yeah.
So if you remember, we talked about this a while ago on what had happened on the in the course of events. So he went to a protest against ICE on June 11th, but it took over a month until July 14th, till the FBI came pounding on the door to arrest him. Unlike 34 other people, he was not arrested on the day of the protest. And there was a reason for that. Pam Bondi wanted to arrest a bunch of minorities, and there's not that many minorities in Spokane.
No.
So what they did is they went cherry picking among people they could identify. And eventually they found Baji. Actually, they didn't consider him worthy of arrest on the day of the protest.
Right, because he didn't do anything.
Well, nothing that they felt should be actionable, right?
Right, yeah.
And, and he was up front protesting. There's no doubt about that. But
I do the
thing
same.
about the conspiracy charge, and that is he has never met, never communicated with, never been in any organization with any of the other people that were arrested with the Spokane Nine that he was arrested with. So how did he conspire? Telepathy?
So it kind of sounds like if you go to the grocery store, you could be arrested with all the people in the grocery store for conspiracy because you just happen to be at the same place at the same time doing the same thing.
Right, conspiring to shoplift.
Or to shop.
Because one person was shoplifting there, right?
Right, yeah, so, whatever, yeah.
The first U.S. attorney, just to recap, I'm sure you remember this, the first U.S. attorney was an acting U.S. attorney named Richard Barker. He'd been, I think, for 9 or 10 years as a U.S. attorney.
And resigned.
And he refused to indict.
Yep.
So Pam Bondi forced him out.
Right.
And then brought in his second, and she had 20-something years invested. So she went ahead and indicted everybody, to include my son. But then she wasn't radical enough for Pam Bondi, so she fired her and brought in Pete Serrano. Now, since that time, this is what's amusing. Pete Serrano is now illegally appointed.
Right.
He was brought in, did his 120 days, but was never confirmed by the Senate as per the Federal Vacancies Act. So without Senate confirmation, he can't be an acting U.S. attorney.
Right.
So the thing is that there's supposed to be a panel of judges in the area that appoint a new attorney, and they didn't act. So Pam Bondi simply wrote a memo saying Pete Serrano's the man. He's never prosecuted a case in his entire life. And now there's new legislation pending or coming up that says that you have to have at least 2 years trial experience before you can be made a U.S. attorney. He doesn't qualify on those grounds either. But the thing is that there's an upcoming story, not just the Guardian story, but the PBS NewsHour is going to do a segment on Beji and the case. But when they contacted the Department of Justice, when the reporters from PBS contacted the Justice Department, suddenly within a few hours they made a plea deal offer to my son. Now, they offered plea deals back in November, and they told everybody, absolutely no more. This is it. You take this deal, or you're not getting any plea deal.
Oh.
But within hours of them getting a notice that they're going to get aired on the PBS NewsHour, there was
Yes.
suddenly another plea deal.
Now your son's not accepting it, right? Is that
He
correct?
has decided not to accept it, and mostly because it was a bait and switch.
Right.
They said it was one thing, and our attorneys, who are very dedicated, said, look, this is a really good deal. You should take this deal. And the family was divided on whether he should take the deal or not. Some of us were more than suspicious about it.
What?
So when the written plea deal finally came, it had poison pills in it. It had stuff where he had to claim that he was guilty of destruction of government property and to pay a $10,000 fine. He didn't touch any government property. My son's not a vandal.
Right.
He was a protester.
Wow.
But what they're trying to do is change the narrative. And, my son is innocent of the charges. They know it.
Yeah.
But they're far down this road. And what they're trying to do is paint anybody who protests as an insurrectionist.
Yeah, that's pretty clear. Yeah, they got 9 people in in somewhere. Where was that? It was a similar thing. Of course. Oh no, that was down here my way. It was in Texas, but that somebody got shot though too. So that was a little.
Oh yeah, that was a very
different situation.
kind
Yeah,
of case.
yeah, but I don't think all of them were involved in it necessarily that were convicted. I'm not sure though. I mean, I've never seen the evidence, so I don't know.
I have not been able to keep up too much with that case, but it's very different. I mean, this
is. Oh, it's
hugely
different. There's nobody. Yeah,
this was just a small, relatively small protest.
Right.
But the interesting thing also with the Guardian article is that it's the first time that my opponent, Michael Baumgartner, has said a word.
Right.
And he says, well, I'm not really familiar with the case. I promise you, he is extraordinarily familiar with the case.
He would
because
have
he doesn't
to be.
want to run against me.
I was going to say, how could he not? Well, if he's not, then that's a little disturbing since this is something that happened in his district.
He doesn't want to talk about that.
I know that.
He's the congressional representative that is in a district with an illegally appointed U.S. attorney.
Right.
And he's never said a word about it until that article. So,
interesting.
We're trying to get our congressional representative to do something crazy like represent the district.
What? Yeah. That would be a nice switch, huh?
That would be a change of venue for for him. His usual venue is making sure that he does Mike Johnson's bidding, so he prefers to represent Shreveport, Louisiana, rather than Eastern Washington.
Right. Now, on the plea deal, I wanted to also bring up, and I'm sure you and your attorneys are well aware of this, that even if you sign a plea deal, that the judge can still give you the full sentence.
They can. There was several things.
It's rare,
about the
but
plea deal. I mean, rather than just going into it here, it's long and convoluted, and I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
And that's something that is beyond my expertise.
Right.
But when somebody writes out a piece of paper that calls my son a vandal and still says he's saying he's guilty of conspiracy when he did not conspire, right? That's ridiculous.
That whole thing is frightening to me because that's exactly what they're doing, and that's all you have to do is take a look at this case to know that the bottom line is if you go to a protest, if your son loses this, if I go to a protest the day after that, they're going to think nothing of rounding up any of us.
And there's the rub, right? We've got to look at the rights that we have enshrined in the Bill of Rights.
Yes.
And those are under threat. And
Yes, they
consider
are.
this, Mark. Since the time of my son's protest, where he was shot in the butt with a rubber bullet,
Saw the pictures.
since that time, ICE has switched to shooting people with 9mm. I'm lucky my son's alive.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That's a really good point. That is a really good point. I don't think
So-
Renee. I don't think Renee. Whatever. Can't remember what her last
Renee
name is.
Good.
Renee Good. Yeah, I
and
could.
Alex Preddy.
Yeah, and I cannot imagine that they thought that they were going to lose their lives that day.
Those
Just
were
trying to
summary
be good
executions.
citizens. What's that?
Those were summary executions.
Those were summary. Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
If it looks like that to the layperson, I've been trained on these sort of things from
Right.
when my details being a police advisor and all in Afghanistan.
Mhm.
And trust me, those are exactly what they look like. Absolutely trigger happy, unskilled ICE agents who literally summarily executed U.S. citizens for protesting.
Agreed. As shocking as the Renee Good shooting was, when I saw the next one, I mean that was they had the gun away from him before they even shot him,
Right.
and he didn't even pull the gun. He just was carrying it, which he's allowed to do as a U.S. citizen, and I think he had a carry permit.
He had a concealed
Yeah.
carry. He had a concealed carry permit. The gun was perfectly legal.
Yep.
And I'm a Second Amendment rights guy.
Yeah.
I live up out in the woods, over an hour north of Spokane in a log cabin.
And he plays a banjo.
If I call the police, yes, and I do play the banjo. But if we have an emergency up there, and I'm lucky enough to have cell phone signal, and you've tried to call me up there when it doesn't work.
Yep. Just the other day.
It takes half an hour to 45 minutes for the police to arrive.
Right.
Of course we're armed.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, it'd be silly not to be. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be anyway. I mean, you're out in the woods. I mean, all kinds of critters, not just human. I mean, I don't, actually, we always used to say when we were out camping, an old former buddy of both of ours, you know what I'm talking about. But we used to say that I'm not worried about bears. I'm worried about people. Because I know how to kind of handle bears, black bears. I don't want to handle grizzly bears at all, but I know how to handle black bears for the most part. But I worry about people out there,
Well, you do have to worry once in a while, but I got to tell you though, the folks up here, it's a conservative area,
Yes.
but they are very, very open.
Yep.
To when I am talking about my son's case, when I'm talking about my positions.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you're a Democrat. What's that mean? And I tell them, well, look, I'm in favor of a balanced budget amendment, like the Republicans
Used to be.
Right? I'm in
Once
favor
upon
of
a
free
time.
trade, like the Republicans used to be.
Yep.
I'm in favor of the entire Bill of Rights. That includes the First Amendment, like in cases of my son. That includes the Second Amendment. That includes crazy things like the Fourth Amendment and the Fifth Amendment.
Yep.
But also, being a 26-year military veteran who's in favor of a powerful military just doesn't want them on U.S. streets against U.S. persons.
Same.
Right. And somebody who's a veteran, and this district is 9% veterans. We have a major military installation here with Fairchild Air Force Base.
Yep.
Excuse me. So, these are all things that the voters can identify with me on. They
Yes.
go well beyond party, and they're the most important matters, right? Farm bills are not partisan. Farm bills are to take care of farmers,
Yes.
right? We need a farm bill. These tariffs are killing our wheat farmers up here. The idea of bringing in Argentinian beef is hurting our ranchers up here. And these guys are not operating on big margins anyway.
Right. No.
So the campaign part of this, my campaign itself, the catalyst was my son's case. That's what really spurred me. But it's not why I'm running. We need to represent our district here. And
Yeah.
as you know, I didn't just fall off the turnip truck on
No.
politics. I've been involved
No,
with
and
it for a long
I'm
time.
going to tell everybody right now. I remember as a young man in high school, barely being out of high school, seeing campaign signs for Bajun Mavalwalla. I think you're running for city council or something, then, weren't you?
I ran for county
Oh,
supervisor,
that was what it
and
was.
I
Yeah,
got my backside handed to me pretty thoroughly,
yeah, you
which
did.
is where I realized, this isn't a game for me at this stage of my
You
life.
weren't ready for it yet, no.
I was not ready at
But at
all,
least you
and I
tried.
learned a lot.
I'll bet you did.
I learned a lot, but I'm ready for it now.
Yes.
And I think
No one
that's why
knows
these
that more.
campaigns
No
came
one
about.
knows that more than I do. I
I
mean,
appreciate it.
I mean, honestly, when you told me you were running or that you had an exploratory committee, I'm like, oh God, he's running. This is going to be good because I know. I know you've worked on campaigns like me. I have too. I've worked on campaigns before, um, and so I mean, there's things that you definitely learn doing that. And you see, you were the head of a couple of campaigns too, right?
I've managed 3 congressional campaigns prior to this,
Yeah.
and I've done some down ballot campaigns as well.
I think you have a
I
better
even got
candidate.
a guy elected.
I think you have a better candidate this time around. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, I appreciate it, but look, the trick is going out there and talking to the voters. And I just come in from going out on my electric scooter because I've got 350,000 voters I have to reach.
Yeah.
So I have for when I'm in the urban areas, I have a little electric scooter that I take door to door to drop pamphlets off and to talk to the voters
I saw the
because I've
video.
got to reach them.
I saw the
Yeah,
video. I love
yeah.
it. It's great. So let's see
Well,
the
if your viewers want to go to www.votebayesian.com, they can see all the videos and the links and all that are
well,
there.
good. We'll post that in the comments.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll post it in the description. Actually, that's what I'll do. If they'll let
Well,
me. I don't know if they'll let me or not, but yeah, I'll post it in the comments or the description either way. Um,
well, I do appreciate it.
let's
And
see the button real quick. Let's see if you can get that up
oh,
there. The campaign button. There we go. All right, Bajan. Yeah. Okay. And donate. I'm going to put it. There's a donate thing on your page. I'm assuming as well, so
there is,
we could all donate
there is.
for this. You're going to want this guy, folks out there, because I've known Bajan for a long time. He's very honest. He's very smart. He's highly motivated. He's a patriot. He gives a crap about this country. It genuinely gives a crap about this country, and he's not somebody out there trying to make money. He tries to make money because we all do, but he's not someone that's out there to get rich, you know. I think he's kind of like me in that respect, that money is important and that we need it to survive. But I've never been super motivated by it. I don't think Bajan's that way either. So I think he will be a great representative for you folks in Washington. I just wish that I lived there so that I could vote for him and walk precincts for him and stuff.
Well, I really appreciate all your help, Mark. It's great seeing you again.
It's good seeing you.
And when after the PBS NewsHour story airs, and it should be
Yes.
pretty good.
Yeah.
The reporter's a nationally known reporter, and the cameraman is a twice Academy Award nominated documentary filmmaker. So
Yes.
very cinematic, I'm told. I have not seen the pieces yet, but it'll be on the PBS NewsHour sometime this week.
I have a lot of people that are waiting, and I had a lot of people calling me last Friday, and I already knew because it was going to be on last. For everybody that doesn't know, it was going to be on last Friday. But then I'm sitting there watching it. Then I saw the segment on Chuck Norris, and I went, "Oh no!" It's like that. There it goes. And I before it was even over, I texted Paige and I said, "You got bumped by Chuck Norris, didn't you?" And he waited till the end before he said, "Yep, we did."
If you're going to get your butt kicked, it might as well be by Chuck Norris.
That's right. Exactly. Because then yeah, doesn't matter. It's expected.
But the story should be this week.
Awesome.
Could even be today.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if I hear about, I mean, I'll repost it or on
Right.
here or something. I'll do something. I don't know what they have for copyright stuff, but I'll see what I could do about like maybe at least posting the segment or whatever. But
the segment might be on some of the PBS, local station podcasts or links for it. but we'll find it. I honestly don't know myself.
Well, I'm on their
So
YouTube. I follow them on YouTube here, so I will, which is where I will stream it from, and
okay.
then I'm sure they'll have like, because a lot of times they'll clip those out and make them short, each one a short video on its own. So, but I'm going to send that out to people when I get it,
I
when I see
appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Great.
Well, good to talk to you, and good luck. I think you're doing a great job out there. You're reaching out to people like I knew you would, because you are a people person and care about people. And good luck to you. And I can't wait to talk to you again after the segment. And I hope it really helps out your son.
Great. And thanks for
Your
having me
son's
on
my
again, Mark. I
hero.
really appreciate it.
Your son's my hero, by the way, and he should be
Mine
everybody's
too.
hero because he's out there fighting for us.
Absolutely. Thanks
Yep.
again, Mark.
All right, you betcha. Have a great day.